Hello again, AFW faithful. This is a news break episode. This is a little something different. This is our thoughts on a current event. But before we get into what's going on, as if you can't read the title, I am the Commissioner, Dylan Gilbert. With me are my two co-hosts. Dave, introduce yourself.
Your friend, your hero, your My House Sports Gear sponsored athlete, Retromania Wrestling Superstar, or Virgil, whichever you choose, the king
And
of the downvote,
breadsticks.
the daredevil, Dave Dahl, and we are talking about someone I always enjoyed watching as a child or a kid, and still do today. I am not saying his name yet, but you know who he is.
If you read the description or the title, you clicked on this video, you know who we're talking about. But we'll build a little more suspense. Jerry, introduce yourself, my friend.
It is the El Presidente, the major brawler, the major dad, the heart and soul of the Major Pod Facebook group, Jerry at Jerry Damage Cook.
So we've teased it already. Let's go ahead and dive into this. We
Owen
are
fucking
talking
Hart!
about Owen freaking Hart. The legacy of Owen Hart is all elite, and I could not be more proud. I think what Tony Khan has been doing, taking care of the legacy of wrestlers that have passed too soon, has just been amazing. From what he's done with Brody and Brody's family, which was one I took particularly hard. Um, to like how well Pillman Jr. has been handled in this. He's been given the right amount of push where it's not like it doesn't feel like, oh, you're only getting this because of your dad. Like, he's earned the push he's gotten, but like
It's
he's
still a
been
little
given
awkward,
part of
though,
this
for Pillman.
because of his dad. We can debate that on another episode.
I just think
But
it's a little weird because like he's with the Varsity Blondes and he's not with the Varsity Blondes and he's with the Varsity. You're either in or you're out.
oh no, I mean he's never it's never been an issue where he hasn't been part of the Varsity Blondes. He's just given his own like time to shine.
Yeah, but like he had Julia out against MJF, but like he didn't
He
have
had
Julia out for
Julia he had Julia, but he was also wearing like the Brian Pillman like
yeah.
Bengals gear
It's a
in
little
tribute
confusing.
to his dad. Which, I mean, it's not that confusing. Like, tag teams have guys that are singles wrestlers also. It is what it
Yeah,
is. But I respect what Tony is doing for the Pillman family in that. I love what he's doing with, with John Huber, Brody Lee's family. I think they've done a great job of taking care of the families of wrestlers that have
I
left
mean
us too soon.
they put -1 into the general manager game, and he went nuts. He's like, "I'm stronger than Nick Camarella." I saw the video that
Yeah.
Amanda had posted. I'm stronger than Nick Camarella. She's like, "You know why, right?" He's like, "No." Gave you your dad's stats. Like that's a cool little to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
which tells me immediately that they are going to handle the legacy of Owen Hart with all of the respect that's due, and I mean, especially having guys like Jr., having guys like Jericho, having guys that were close with him. I think that if anybody's going to handle it right, this is the place, this is the company, this is the time.
well, I've said to you guys privately, and to me, I feel like all his legacy and his talents have just been put in the shadow of his tragic death. So finally, now with this new agreement between the Owen Hart Foundation and AEW, his legacy and his talent can finally be brought out into the light again and celebrated. And with the fact that the agreement allows different merchandise options, includement in the video game,
Mm-hmm.
and Jazzwares has permission to make figures. Like new generations are now going to be asking who is Owen Hart. So now it's just his fan base is going to grow again, And then guys like me and you and Jerry who watched Owen when we were younger and up until his passing, we get to now go back and enjoy his legacy again. And plus, we could do, dream matchups of like Owen Hart versus Sting, stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
that.
stuff that we didn't get. And I kind of sit between those two worlds. Like I as a wrestling fan, I vaguely remember Owen, but the time that I was watching very seriously was right up until and then like after his passing. And then I got out of wrestling and got when I got back in, you hear all the guys all the current day guys that I'm a huge fan of. Like I'm a massive Kevin Owens fan. He named his son Owen after Owen Hart, which made me go back and watch Owen Hart matches. And so as somebody that vaguely remembered him and then found his legacy through like positive moments like this, I think it's wonderful. I think you're bringing people to an incredible wrestler and a gifted human being that wouldn't have found him otherwise, that wouldn't have known him other than like, oh yeah, he was that guy that passed away tragically. It's like, no, he was also an incredible wrestler. He was also a genuine human being. Like, I think AEW is going to crush this.
I think it's a great partnership.
Yeah, I think Jeremy, is the right person to handle it. And you got to think that Jeremy had the classic superstars line for all those years, and there's just a handful of guys that he never got to make. Namely, I can think off the top of my head like Sting, Macho Man, and Owen Hart probably are the top three that if he could have created them in that line that he would have. So this is a way to get it one out. He's making a Sting, so then if somehow he can make a Macho Man down the road, then maybe he'll cross off that top three. But definitely, man. I mean, and you got to think that we're not going to see just one Owen Hart. We're probably going to see a few. I want
variations.
I want one kind of like the Brawler, which
With the Owen Hart Foundation logo on it?
Yeah. Or, some kind of logo. Because there were people saying, like, the logo looks too much like his WE look. But then again, I can tell you pretty much that if there was any chance that this would get a cease and desist, this micro brawler would not be in my hand right now. There's zero chance that if WE would look at it and be like, well, we think we own the right to that, would not have happened.
But the thing is that they don't own rights to attires. Because they have
logos, yes, but attires, no. Yeah.
No, not even logos. Because if you look back, the last games Owen Hart were in was Legends of Wrestling 2 and Legends of Wrestling Showdown.
Yeah.
He has the OH singlet on.
Yeah, so I would imagine we'll see one in a singlet. I mean, you could probably get some more out like the Calgary, the Stampede Wrestling ones and long tights. You can probably get a couple of those out and stuff too. So so we're going to see a bunch.
I'm thinking we'll get first is like with Jericho they did that Luminaries series where they did they're doing Corazon de Leon because they can't do like ECW, WCW, or any of that. But I mean that's not to say that he didn't have like an iconic persona beforehand. So
the thing is,
maybe we will get Calgary. Maybe we
I don't think we'll get.
I
don't think we'll get Stampede though, because I'm pretty sure WWE owns Stampede, or at least the footaging and stuff from Stampede. So if anything, you're going to get.
It won't have
Japan.
Yeah, I mean, or Japan one. I mean, it's the same look pretty much.
I
just
wouldn't be
tights.
upset about.
So. But yeah, I'm really excited. I was excited with the micro brawlers, but to get not just an Owen figure, but an Owen Jazzwares figure. I think that's going to be something to knock it out of the park. So,
and it's good for wrestling as a whole.
It is. It's great for wrestling fans. We're living in a golden era right now. Pretty much where anything we want to happen is happening almost as far as. We've got Jazzwares, we've got Mattel, and then you got Cella Toys getting ready to make 6-inch figures.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie is
doing 6-inch
figures going into works. So pretty much anybody who you got Super 7 doing the Japan stuff. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
Boss Fight's doing the Lucha Libre. So I mean, you got to think in a year or two down the road, we're going to have a hard time thinking of somebody who we don't have some kind of figure from.
Hmm.
Um,
Which for a group like us, I mean, we're
oh yeah, I mean
literally
we're
doing a figure fed based off of the 1/12 scale figures to and we probably won't see him for 6 months to a year, but I mean the fact that we're getting Owen now opens up so many storylines. The fact that because of all these other like boss fight, we'll get guys like Vampiro that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise, like
Juventud.
Juventud Guerrera, we're getting so much more options. And then just as wrestling figure collectors, which we all are, to have some of those guys to put up next to your wrestlers that you wouldn't have thought otherwise. I mean, hell, until a month ago, this right here would have been seen as just like fun figure photography. And we just, we're recording this after Dynamite Grand Slam. That was a great match. So I think we're just where we're at as wrestling fans, like the current state of the wrestling business is just, man, there's so much
Booming.
cool stuff going on.
Hmm.
Like it's the most fun I've had as a wrestling fan since I was a kid during the Attitude Era.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun right now.
So this one we
I'm
figured
excited.
we'd keep short, little snackable content for you guys, but we just
Threat
couldn't contain our excitement for the legacy of Owen Hart becoming all elite.
Threadheads is gonna have to get on their Owen Hart, Hart Foundation
Hmm.
jackets because I think that's gonna be like the one thing Jazzwares is not gonna be able to do.
Yep.
Besides like the Slammy singlet. So like the Slammy singlet and that jacket, I think they won't be able to do. But
Which Threadhead, if you're listening, get on those jackets. All three of us will be buying them. You will make your money, my friend. Please do it.
discount code AFW for something off, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. Discount code AFW for 1%, whatever it is. Threadhead, I've
One
used you
penny.
for years. Doesn't matter. Give us a code. We love you. But
I hope there's a
for
ringside exclusive too.
oh
Like
man.
the
Could be.
like all pink.
Yeah, like a pink singlet or something like that.
That'd be cool.
And then you
Oh,
could
well,
always
we
hit up
forgot to mention the tournament.
Curb Stomp City. Get your decals and put the Hart family logos on those all pink singlets.
We
Curb Stomp
forgot the
City, send me free decals. Back to Dave.
we forgot to talk about the uh Owen Hart Cup tournament.
That's right. That's right.
The Owen, as the trophy's going to be called.
Which is amazing.
I'm just hoping. I hope they do it in May. May seems like the best time to
Mm-hmm.
do it because it's Owen's birth month. It's also the month of his death. So I think then, and then calling the cup the Owen is actually kind of cool. It works.
Hmm.
I mean, the hockey cup is Lord Stanley Cup. I mean,
Yeah. Stanley Cup.
so why not the Owen? But that should be an interesting tournament. I wonder if it's going to be a mixture of guys that aren't signed and guys that are signed, or if it's just going to be all guys that are signed. I don't know, but it should be great, great television.
Yeah, regardless, you're gonna have some banger matches. I mean,
Yeah.
not to be too much of an AEW mark, but they've just been putting out consistently compelling television, and I think that tournament will be no different.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So we're just inside of the 15-minute mark, so I think that is more than enough time for us to give you a little bit of a short, sweet, breaking news, some snackable content from your friends here at Action Figure Wrestling. For the Daredevil, for El Presidente, for the Commissioner, we are signing out, and we will see you next time. Like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend. Bye and good night. Bang.